Hello everybody and welcome back to the Athlete Podcast sponsored by Sports for Champions. Today I am joined by Dan Smyllie, who is a Team Scotland gymnast. How are we?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Nice. We're currently suffering in this podcast room, aren't we? It's quite warm.
Yeah, it's a little bit toasty.
But I mean, hey, you're the one that lived in Abu Dhabi for 8 or 9 years.
Yeah,
so,
the Middle East.
I mean,
so.
No, you guys got air conditioning. I shouldn't put that on you. Anyway, so let's start. How did you get into your sport? What's the story?
So I started when I was 4.
Nice.
I had a lot of energy as a child, so
Yeah.
Mum and Dad threw me in the gym to try and kind of burn some of that energy, to give them a bit of a rest as well.
Just straight bouncing off the walls.
Yeah. As every lad is.
It seems like every single gymnast that comes in here, and I speak to on the podcast, they're always like, yeah, well, I had a bit too much energy. My parents, they didn't really want to deal with it, so they just took me in the gym. Yeah. And then they were like, yeah, you're pretty good,
yeah. It's a coach's issue at that point.
I mean, it's a young sport, isn't it, right? You can start competing from like the age of 4.
Yes.
So, you get started properly and get on a pathway really early. That doesn't mean that you have to start then.
No.
But,
No, it's a ageless kind of sport as well. Like, if you're 8, you can start. If you're 10, you can start. Even if teachers want to start as well, they can get into it and get into adult classes and stuff like that.
Yeah, there are a few adult classes that go on around Flintshire where we're based, that I know of at least.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the pathway, what did it look like for you? Because obviously you mentioned that you got spotted.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like being scouted in football, I guess. You know, they come and watch some of the routines and performances from the children, and they're like, you.
Yeah. So, I started off through recreational kind of classes, and then they were looking to make an elite group eventually. Yeah. So I got spotted and was put into the development group.
Yeah.
And it was from then it was kind of a progressive kind of pathway where I was progressing, training more often, bought in more, and then started competing at the age of 8.
Nice. So, do you remember your first competition? Or?
Yeah, it was the national elite grades, and I came 10th, so that was quite cool.
I mean, hey, it's your first competition. Yeah, exactly. You're not really there to win, are you? You're there to get like a little bit of experience.
Exactly, and
gymnastics, with all the competitions that go on, I bet you end up making quite a lot of friends through the sport, and then you only really see them on the weekends that you're at these competitions, right? Throughout school and stuff.
Yeah,
adolescents.
And we're such a small community. Like, how many footballers do football? Like within
so many. Yeah.
Within gymnastics, it's very like limited, especially the boys' side of things.
Yeah,
it's, like everyone knows everyone, and you all become like really good friends. And then
you've got like a separate group outside of school, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the people you train with are like your brothers, so...
Yeah. How was it outside of school, like, in terms of, obviously, you're in school from like 9 a.m. till 3 p.m, aren't you?
Yeah.
But then you're also probably training outside. Yeah. It's like, there are some sports that I know of because my friends did them and whatnot, or I did them when I was younger, that I would never wish on anyone to be training for while they're in school, like swimming.
Yeah.
Who wants to do that?
It's a bit more.
Yeah. Speak to my mate. I got up at 4 a.m. today and I went swimming. No. What's it like fitting gymnastics around school and other social life?
It was hard, and a big credit to my parents as well, like getting me from A to B. I mean, I've got 2 sisters as well, so that was...
Wow. Were you all sporty then?
Yeah, so my sisters both do... Well, one of my sisters does hockey.
Yeah.
The other one's a dancer, so we're all
That's
all
a lot
busy.
Of different hobbies.
Exactly.
A lot of different hobbies.
Yeah, so credit to them for getting me to training. But it was... I'd finish school at 3:30.
Yeah.
Then travel over to the gym. Start there for 4 o'clock, 4:30, and then get home, do my homework at 8:30 at night. And then,
I bet your parents are both teachers too, so it kind of helped that their schedules were sort of aligned with yours. Did you go to their school or something like that?
So at primary school, I went to my mum's school. So luckily, it was. That was always helpful, but as a teacher, my mum had to stay back sometimes for a meeting and stuff like
marking
that.
And whatnot. Parents evening, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So those were like the one-off challenges, but even then, it was like they did well to balance me around all of their stuff.
And so moving into like high school age now, yours was a little bit different. wasn't it?
Yeah, so I moved out to the Middle East when I was in year 8. And,
nice. Well, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how you felt about it, but
yeah, it was a very different kind of
it's a big adjustment. Isn't it?
Yeah, and cultural change, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've met so many people from so many different places. And yeah, I really enjoyed my time out there.
I bet. And you were there for near enough a decade, right?
Yes.
Until you were about 21, 22.
Yeah.
And then you came back for university.
Yeah.
And
so yeah, I came back when I was 19, and then
okay.
yeah, I did just finish university now.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
So yeah,
nice.
Done my 3 years, which was scary.
3 years. I mean, we did talk about this earlier. It's a good way to come back, and there's less financial pressure on you.
Yeah.
Because you moved back without your parents, didn't you? And so
so my
coming
parents
back,
are still out there.
and at least you got the financial support. I know it's it's at the end of the day it is a debt, but like it's still the financial support that you'd need.
Yeah.
If you didn't have your parents around and stuff like that. And obviously you just like practically immediately launched into different communities. You're living with different people. You can just build a group of friends up from that, can't you?
Yeah, and it's built so many opportunities for me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've now got a degree, which is in itself is for a professional world. That's such a big thing.
Exactly.
And yeah, I was on the scholar program as well, so they helped me with my sports kind of.
Okay. I see. Yeah.
All the different things like that.
So this is an interesting sort of angle that I want to tackle this from. So you moved at the age of 12. I remember at the age of 12, I was pretty mad.
Yeah.
Because we'd moved not far away, not 2,000 miles away like you did, but we'd moved over to another town, and my mum wanted me to go to a different high school. No, I don't want to go to a different high school than my mates, Yeah. And so, what's that like? Because that takes you out your comfort zone. How do you think that experience has benefited you, not only in obviously life, being taken out of your comfort zone like that at such a young age, but also in your sport too?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big shock to the system, as like it's always different, especially moving country, like not just moving city. Like,
totally different culture too. Totally different culture.
Like,
it wasn't like you went to America or Australia where same but different.
Yeah, it's a
different culture.
Yeah, and so yeah, it was wicked, but it was it's taught me so much, like how many life skills, and having that kind of cultural approach with all my other friends. So I've got loads of friends from like Muslim background, Muslim countries, and as well as like people from like European countries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it teaches you so many different things, and it was an amazing experience.
Let's talk about one of the experiences you did have while you were out there then.
Yeah.
You became I earlier mistook this for Arabian golf champion. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
But you were the Arabian golf champion.
Yeah. So this was in my junior career. So
nice,
I was 16 at the time and kind of had no idea about it really. Just got told by my club that we were doing a competition.
It's not bad.
Yeah, and then ended up being the Arabian golf.
That's insane,
so.
It's kind of a great title when you think about it. That I am the Arabian golf champion. Look at me.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really cool. And to have that now for the rest of my kind of career.
But when you move back, how does the competition differ? Because I imagine Europe is probably a lot. Gymnastics, it's bigger.
Yeah.
There's a lot more people competing. Probably, I don't want to throw any shade or anything, but probably of a higher
quality.
Ability, quality. Yeah. So what was it like?
The Middle East it's a very new kind of new sport to the kind of area. So moving back, it was a big shock to reality. I think my first competition, I'd come absolutely nowhere near where I thought I was going to come. Obviously coming off a high of kind of competing out there, I was winning a lot of competitions, like the national competitions. I was winning most of them. So to come back here, it was a big shock, and it made me question, like, is this really the sport for me now? Obviously with everything else going on as well, like outside of the sport. But yeah, it's all that perseverance, that kind of determination, dedication for those, those kind of times and stuff like that. It's good to get you through.
Exactly. And then obviously you're just kind of used to operating in places that you're not as familiar with as well.
Yeah.
So it all helps, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah.
One thing that I'd be interested in is what's the nutrition like out there? Is it much the same, or what are the differences between the food?
Well, so it's a lot of different kind of dishes. So out there's a lot of lamb and stuff like that, and it's all halal food.
Yeah.
Whereas here, obviously,
you can have chicken and especially
pork
beef
as well.
Yeah.
Pork's a big
one.
Do
they put a stop on beef, or am I being silly?
No, they still sell like beef and stuff like that.
Okay,
but yeah,
I am being silly then.
Pork's the big one because obviously it's not
pig.
Not halal. Yeah. But yeah, like that was obviously coming from here initially as well. I did like a sausage sandwich at times, you know what I mean?
I know. It's terrible, that, isn't it? They ripped it away from you.
Know,
They do the same. Like a lot of people from Britain, they holiday in Turkey, don't they? And it's all the same halal, and so they'll use like vegetarian sausages, which I have to get it on the record. The vegetarian sausages,
they're alright. Yeah,
they're not alright. I think they could be better.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah. There's some things that you do with a sausage.
Yeah.
There's some things that you make with sausages.
Yeah.
That are better to have an actual pork sausage.
Yeah.
But I think like in a sausage roll, or even possibly on a bap, I don't mind.
Greg's vegan sausage roll. Yeah,
exactly. I don't mind them.
That's pretty good.
They're not so bad. But it's interesting the differences in the food and the nutrition and whatnot, because you just don't have access to some of the bits that we do over here.
Yeah, 100%.
But I imagine, obviously, being an athlete, you kind of on a strict diet anyway.
Yes.
So if you're allowed chicken over there, you're probably eating quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk a little bit more about your training schedule. You mentioned earlier to us in private that you train for 6 days a week.
Yeah.
That's not uncommon for a gymnast, but it's a lot.
It is a lot, and it's demanding on the body. It's demanding on the mind as well. It's not just physical training. Obviously, it's how the mind takes it as well.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Yeah, so I train 6 days a week. I train almost 7 hours a day.
Wow.
At times, and it's tough, especially like competition prep and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is the thing. Competition prep. Getting ready for the big ones like the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
You hear 6 days a week, almost 7 hours a day.
Yeah.
I sit there and I think, how could it get any worse?
Yeah.
What more could they be squeezing out of you before it becomes just totally not even worth it, because the rest of the recovery isn't being met.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's hard, and sometimes you wake up and you just don't want to move out of the bed.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, it is hard, but then it's that kind of those goals and the all the time you spent from as a 4-year-old kid. I dreamed of going to a Commonwealth Games and like competing for Scotland.
The country, and more importantly, 2026 is in Glasgow.
It's in Glasgow. It's going to be a home games, which
it's going to be booming.
It'll be really, really cool.
I bet the crowd will be absolutely ecstatic to watch you first of all perform, and then have an interview afterwards and speak in Brummie.
Yeah, exactly. proper Brummie. Yeah.
But no, it's good. It's good because obviously, I mean, it's a bit weird because the last Commonwealth Games was in Birmingham, wasn't it? This is interesting because it's a little bit like club and country in football.
Yeah.
Would you have preferred to have competed? Because I know you didn't go to Birmingham, but which one would you have preferred to have gone to? This Glasgow one, because you competing for Team Scotland, or Birmingham.
Yeah, so that's a very hard question, to be honest. I think because of like a lot of my friends competed in the Birmingham Commonwealth Games, and that was awesome. But I think purely because we know that the crowd's going to be behind us and everything like that, and having like the kind of journey that I've had, I think the Commonwealth Games in Scotland will be absolutely amazing, and that would probably be the one that I prefer to.
Fair enough. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
So,
but it's very close.
I bet because obviously it is like club and country football.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got this allegiance to where you are all the time, but then you're competing for the country.
Yeah.
And so it's difficult. It's really difficult.
But the crowd will make the Glasgow one.
Yeah, no, especially the Scottish crowd themselves. Exactly. Totally. Yeah. So let me put you in a hypothetical situation here. So you've gone to the Glasgow Commonwealth Games. You've medalled. I'll say gold. You've medalled gold.
Cool.
However realistic you think that is, you've medalled gold.
Yeah.
At a big competition. What are you having? What are you having for your cheat meal?
Cheat meal. I reckon I love a smash burger. So
you go for smash.
I'll have like a bacon smash cheeseburger, like something like that. They're
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
your
bit
family
naughty.
back home would be pretty.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure if you compete in the Commonwealths,
they'll be
no matter what, they'll be there, won't they?
Yeah. Yeah. So
it's not bad. It's not a bad shot. We've never had smash burger. We've had quite a few McDonald's.
Yeah.
We've had quite a few just Chinese. Chinese.
Yeah.
Pizza, always a good one.
Yeah. And dirty fries, like
dirty fries,
cheese fries,
like
stuff like that.
I forget what they call them. It's Canadian, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Putin. Is
Putin?
Poutine?
Poutine.
That's it. Sorry, mispronounced.
Poutine with the bacon and the cheese and everything. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. Very nice.
It's a heavy cheat meal with the burger alongside too.
Yeah.
To boot.
Yeah.
So in terms of, obviously everyone has cravings, right? I kind of want to get into the nitty gritty of when you think it's best to treat yourself, because everyone's got a craving, and you can fake away some meals. Like you can fake away. I had a fake away Nando's last night.
Yeah.
A little bit of the Perry's hot and chips, stuff like that.
As you do.
It's easy to remake things, but sometimes they're just not quite the real thing, are they? So in terms of treats, cheat meals, when are you generally having them?
I think, well, it's all taken into moderation,
Yeah.
It's treating yourself when you feel like you need to have a treat, but then staying disciplined as well. I think I would mainly, after a competition, is when I have my cheat meals. Is after you've done that hard graft, you deserve a little bit of a treat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like if you have a biscuit one day a week, it's not the end of the world.
A biscuit one day a week.
Yeah.
I think you might be a little bit disconnected from the general population there. A biscuit one digestive.
Well,
once a week.
I'm a hobnob kind of guy, so
I think one hobnob a week.
I would.
No.
You've got
no idea.
You can have a bit more. But you've got to be on top of it. Like you couldn't have, how easy it is to have one Malteser, but one Malteser is never one Malteser, is it? No, you have to eat the pack.
One Malteser is 300 grams of Maltesers.
Exactly.
What's the... Right, I'm going to sit here. How wrong am I? So, normally, I'll generally have like one sweet thing a day.
Okay.
Not one biscuit, that was a bit too far, that. But
right.
like one, I don't know, like an off-brand Twix or whatever.
Okay.
Or some sort of, like a dairy milk bar. One of them a day. Generally, I tend to eat 2 meals, and then I like to have a banana and one treat. I've got ADHD, so I'm very routine.
Yeah.
So when I tell you that that's what I have in a day, that's what I have in a day. Like, and how wrong is that? Is that bad for one a day?
That's absolutely fine. It's all like, so for me, I do let myself have the treats, but I will always make sure that I get what I need to get in. So say
protein,
for breakfast I always have 3 eggs, and then I also have Weetabix, and then for lunch I'll have whatever I'm having, mainly chicken and rice, stuff like that. And then for dinner I'll have like a pie or something like that, and then I'll have my treats after that if I'm still feeling like it.
Yeah. You've got to listen to your belly.
Yeah, 100%.
Because those sort of foods, they don't. Not the foods that you're eating for meals, but like the treats and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like they're designed to not fill you up.
Yeah.
They're designed to make you want to have a little bit more.
Yeah. But then a little bit of chocolate doesn't hurt anyway.
No, exactly. And especially if it's dark, you can't understate the benefits of dark chocolate for stuff like hair growth and things like that. It's really, really good. A lot of people, they'll have like a little bit of overnight oats and dark chocolate on top, and probably is.
No,
we're not gonna
we're not gonna get anyone
get
for
up
it.
in arms about it. Yeah, so outside the gym, you're very sporty, and that's due to your parents, right? That's something that you've or it seems like your whole family has always been generally very sporty, which is really good. And obviously, sports at a young age, you know, you learn how to cope with losses, things like that. Can teach a lot of really great lessons. How do you feel like your sporting experiences affected you growing up, and you know, what sort of sports did you stick with? Because you have to pick one. Yeah. In the end, you have to pick one to focus in on. You can't do multiple. Yeah. Which ones did you stick with that you continue to do this day, and what sort of lessons have they taught you as well growing up?
Yeah, so as you say, my parents did a lot of sport as well. My mum played hockey at a very high level. My dad played every single sport. He's now a pretty good golfer.
Nice. I mean, that comes with old age.
Yeah, it does.
The older, I feel like it's a curve. The older you get,
the better you are at golf.
Your technique and your general just talent at golf goes up and up.
So they've always been sporting, pushing us into every single sport. When I was younger, I did swimming, football, hockey, gymnastics, obviously. Literally every basketball, every sport under the sun. But it teaches you so much, and it teaches you, as you say, how to take a loss. But also it builds so many good friendships. Like even I used to play for like some good teams in around the Midlands. And some of the friends that I've got now still playing football and stuff like that. It's really, really good to kind of keep that friendship as well.
Do you ever like bop on the five-side pitch?
Yeah, so we play 6-a-side every Monday.
Very good. We're all mates. Or
so they're all my schoolmates.
I do exactly the same.
Yeah.
On a Sunday though, instead, it's nice. It's a nice way to cap off the week.
It is until you lose.
If I'm lucky, all my mates have been out the night before, and they're just totally hungover.
See, you're the best player. It's really good fun, and obviously just to see your mates as well. Because as you get older, you don't really see them as much.
Different jobs and stuff.
Yeah, and life gets in the way, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course.
So it's really, really good, and it's good fun. Good fun.
Yeah, it's always good fun. It's good that you keep in touch with that side as well, especially with your training. You've got one rest day, and you're going and playing 5-6-side football.
It's pretty full on, but like I can't sit still, so as you can see.
I do have one anecdote from the 5-side, the football that I play.
Yeah.
My mate one day, it was his birthday last year, one day he came, hit the group chat up, and he was like, guys, I think for my birthday this year, I don't really want to go on a night out or nothing. I just want to get us all on like an 11-a-side pitch. Sick. Oh.
Absolutely unreal, that. Yeah.
Fitness and physicality. Oh my god, it was highlighted. We were
blowing in the first 5.
Honestly, one run down the wing. I think I'm gonna die. I'm tasting blood in my throat. I'm anaerobically respirating. I'm like, oh my god, my calves are on fire. I'm like, don't pass to me. No, I'm out. Take me out, coach. But it's really good just to, it's good for your cardio as well. The playing football and stuff, you don't really realise it when you're doing sport that you're actually doing. Exercise is anything, just standing up. We're not doing any exercise here right now, but just standing up, going for a walk, doing little things. It's all exercise. Whatever gets the blood pumping is good for everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. It keeps the body young.
Yeah, exactly.
And the mind young.
True.
It keeps you on your toes and happy all the time. So.
Yeah, it is good for especially keeping up happiness and stuff. Exercise is key to that, which is like the elation that I get when I'm like, it's a Sunday. No, I've got work tomorrow. I've got football later. In terms of getting into sport, then, what would be your top tips for someone that maybe is looking into getting into sport generally, but then also maybe getting into gymnastics on their own?
Find a club near you. And just go for it. I think throw yourself in the deep end. You won't find out if you enjoy it until you try it. It's like any food that you're trying for the first time. You won't know if you might not like it, and it might not be for you, and that's absolutely okay.
But there's so many sports to try.
Exactly, and pick up another sport the next week. But also, if you don't like it the first time, don't just like rule it out. You can try it, and then you can slowly grow to like it, which Yeah, which happens with every sport as well. But just throw yourself into every sport and any opportunity that you can. I think it's really important to kind of give everything a go and see which one.
And then for school age pupils as well, it gets even easier because there's plenty of clubs, plenty of things that go on after school where you can try some new sports.
Even PE lessons, it exposes a lot of people to different sports as well. So
except orienteering.
Yes.
Don't ever make me orienteer anything ever again.
I don't think I've ever orienteered outside of school.
I don't know what it was. I always just didn't really like orienteering because for whatever reason they used to pick orienteering the lesson that would not warm you up as much as the rest of them. They picked in the dead of winter. And we were just walking around trying to find these little clips. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. Maybe it is for me, but I just hated it because I was just so cold every time. And then just finally, what would be, someone that is in sport, what would be a kind of like little quote sort of or mantra, that you sort of think of? You're training 6 days a week in, week out, and sometimes it doesn't always go your way. What would be a tip to boost people's resilience, for them to think about when things aren't exactly going as planned?
I would say, so one of my quotes, I've got two good quotes that I like. One of them is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work.
The classic. We love it.
Love that one. I've also got the other one tattooed on me.
Nice.
It says, "Be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire."
Nice.
And those are two that I live with.
Nice.
Live by. So
that's good. That is good. They're I think hard work beats talent. I mean, everyone says it, but it's the quintessential one because because it's true, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Someone could be amazingly talented at something, but if they don't work hard, then it's just not. It's not going to come to them. The success. Anyway, well, that's about all that we've got time for, unfortunately. But it's been amazing having you on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we I hope to see you around some of the schools. Obviously, we've got some of the summer camps going ahead this year. And then the new academic year will likely be the time that you get really sink your teeth into some individual school events. You start passing that wisdom on to the next generation of gymnasts, innit?
Can't wait.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us.
Perfect.
And thank you everybody for listening too. Bye-bye.